What is up, everybody? This is Trapping Now, and welcome back, or welcome if you are new to the channel. And let's go ahead and hop into some more super facts. Today we're doing Mr. Freeze, probably one of Batman's most iconic villains. And to start it off, let's get into his first appearance, and he's actually got technically two first appearances. Let's start off with the first one. His first technical appearance was in Black Hawk number 117, October 1st, 1957, which was 2 years before he appeared in Batman. But it's unknown if he was Victor Freeze, who is Mr. Freeze. And he actually appeared as the fantastic Mr. Freeze in Black Hawk. Now moving on to his first appearance in Batman, and we actually know it's Victor. It's Batman number 121, February 1st, 1959. Not 59. Yeah, 59. But instead of actually going by the name Mr. Freeze, he is going by the name Mr. Zero. He actually received his name Mr. Freeze from the 1960s Adam West Batman TV show. And his original origins were him as a molecular biologist and was a rogue experimenter, which kind of led to his life of crime. Now, after his popularity from the Batman Adam West TV show started to go away, which is where his popularity originated from, DC actually had him killed off by Joker. I believe this was sometime in between the 80s and the 90s, because it wasn't long after that the Batman the Animated Series came out, and it came out with the Emmy Award-winning episode Heart of Ice, which if you've watched the animated series, you know is the episode in which Mr. Freeze was, I believe, also introduced, and at the same time he learned the sad origins about how his dying wife was being kept on ice. And it also reintroduced him as a cryogenic scientist with, like I said, a man trying to save his dying wife. This completely soared his popularity and created the backstory that we all know today. And as a result, DC actually had his death retconned so he could be brought back. Moving on to the next fact, at one point he managed to bring his wife Nora, with the help of the Lazarus Pit, back, but because of being frozen and experimented on for years, she came back damaged and mutated. She actually absorbed properties of the Lazarus Pit and became Lazala, I believe is how you pronounce it. And her ability was actually, it's kind of like a Firestorm Killer Frost thing, where one has the power of fire, which is what she had, to Mr. Freeze's ice. But she could also raise the dead, something that basically Mr. Freeze had been trying to do with her the entire time. She was basically his polar opposite. And in the end, Mr. Freeze had to put her back on ice until you could find a better solution. Now, in the New 52, as a child, Freeze was always fascinated with ice after his mother fell into a frozen lake. And Nora isn't actually his wife. Instead of being called Nora Freeze, she's called Nora Fields. She's a woman from the 1943 who had been frozen for decades, and when he started working on her, he began to fantasize about her, and eventually actually fell in love and believed the story that was in his head. And it kind of shows a more insane Mr. Freeze in the New 52, which not a whole bunch of people are a fan of. I'm not. I'd prefer his original background. Maybe Rebirth will eventually give us it. Who knows? Also, in the New 52, he is considered to be one of the top 40 most important people in Gotham by the Court of Owls. He actually gave them the serum, I believe, that lets them bring back the talents, which are dead people. Now, going on the facts that don't have a really big point in the stories, but just bit of fun facts that even the TV shows have touched on, well, except for one of these facts. Or because of the accident that put him in the cold state, which, you know, have sometimes been caused by an antagonist of Victor's, not an antagonist, but an enemy's, which I can't remember his name. And then in the New 52, I believe it was actually caused by Batman himself, or Bruce Wayne. But anyways, because of the accident that left him in the cold state he is in, while he can be killed just by being in a normal temperature room, he is also basically immortal and immune to most poisons and diseases. Now, while I do believe he ages, I believe he actually ages at a slower rate than even an Amazon or an Asgardian. Actually, scratching Amazons because they don't age, I believe. Moving on to the last fact. In Batman vs. the Predator, number 3, the Predator, who is cloaked, comes across Mr. Freeze and his gang, and then proceeds to kill all of them, with the only survivor being Mr. Freeze. The only reason Freeze survives is because the Predator can't see him with the formal vision, which is really cool because that means like he's actually the best counter weapon against the Predator. Cold is actually possibly the best weapon to fight a Predator with, when you think about it. Anyways, that's all 10 facts I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed them, as much as I did researching them. Mr. Freeze is one of my favorite Batman villains, along with Bane and the Joker. I think those three are probably the most popular of the Batman's rogues. But anyways, as I said, if you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. If you know anyone else that would enjoy it, please share it with them and have them share it with people. And if you got anything to say down in the comments, doesn't matter what, if you just want to contribute or just have a conversation, put a comment down. If you've done 1, 2, or all 3 of them, check out the rest of the channel, and if you like what you see, subscribe. I plan to have more than just super facts up eventually, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Anyways, have yourselves a good day or night, and I'll see you next time. Take care.